Welcome to Genki 2, Lesson 14, Kanji. And I'm using the Kanji Alive app, which you can find online at app.kanjialive.com. It's a big website with all kinds of kanji. But we today are going to look at the kanji from Lesson 14 in Genki in the order in which they're introduced in Genki. So we're going to start out here. Let's first take a look at stroke order. So you can see the left-hand side has the gyoninben, or the step or stride radical. This is the same left-hand side as the kanji for iku, ikimasu. Okay, and then the right-hand side means skin. As always, love the hints in this. That walking skin is a third-person pronoun, male. It means he. Pronunciation in the kunyomi is kare on its own, or kareshi. When it's followed by the radical for woman, it's kano of kanojo. Can also be pronounced he, which is the same reading as the first kanji in skin, which is hihu. Some examples we have here. Higam. In Japan, so this is equinoctial week. In Japan, the spring and fall equinoxes are national holidays, and these are days when families go and pay their respects at the graves of deceased family members. So kare means he or boyfriend. Karera is a pluralization of the form, so it's third-person pronoun plural. Kareshi is boyfriend, and kanojo means she or girlfriend. The next kanji we're going to look at, the second one, is pronounced dai or tai. The kunyomi can be ka, yo, or shiro. It has a few different meanings. So substitute, like a substitute one thing for another, which is kawari. Can be generation, as in generations of humans, or it can be a charge as in a fee. So the left-hand radical is the person radical, the ninben, and then the right-hand side are these three strokes. The hint, guards with spears changing shifts. I guess that has the substitute or meaning to it. This is used in a variety of vocab words. You have jidai, which means an era, like Meiji jidai, Showa jidai, Heisei jidai. Gendai, meaning modern. Sedai is generation. These next two examples are good to take note of. So judai means, it refers to a generation, a decade of age. So the years between 10 and 19 are judai. Nijudai in English we would refer to as your 20s. Sanjudai, your 30s. And this contrasts with nendai. So here we have nanaju nendai. These are decades in terms of like history. So the 70s. Hachiju nendai, the 80s, the 1980s. So when you're talking about people's ages, you don't include the nen, it's just dai. When you're talking about history, nendai. Denki dai or suido dai. So your denki dai is your electricity bill. Your suido dai would be your water bill. Daihyo suru, to represent at a match at the Olympics. Kotai suru is to take turns or to alternate. Kawaru, to take the place of. You'll often see that as something no kawari ni, like in the place of one thing, another thing. Kairu means to exchange or replace. Meiji no yo, another way to say the Meiji era. Could also call it Meiji jidai. And then mino shirokin is ransom, which hopefully you don't ever have to know. Our next kanji is a kanji that means to keep or to stay. The main radical is the rice paddy radical. Oops. Let's take a look at stroke order. And then the rice paddy on the bottom. So in the hint, before harvest, farmers stay near the fields to protect them. Individual with a special sword. Okay. The readings, the onyomi are ryu or ru, and then the kunyomis are to or todo. So we have ryugaku suru, which is to study abroad, right, to stay and study. Ryunen suru is to repeat a grade in school, right, to stay a year and repeat it. Horyu suru is to put on hold. Ryugakusei is an international student. Teiryusho is a bus stop, although basute, with that same kanji for te, is more colloquial usage. Dusu means to be away from home. Dusuban is to be the person in charge while everybody else is away from home. Some old vocab here. Dusuban denwa was old-fashioned answering machine. So it was literally the telephone that looked after the house while everybody was out. This tomeru, with this kanji, means to fasten. Tomaru means to remain or to come to a halt. So these are different from tomeru, like the stop of a stop sign, or the tomaru as in to stay at a hotel. Todomeru means to hold or detain. Todomaru, to stay in one place. Our next kanji is the zoku of kazoku, means family or tribe. So the left-hand radical is the hohen for direction or flag. You have this sort of cap radical, I don't know its real name, and then the radical for arrow, for ya. So kazoku, family, I like to translate it literally as house tribe. Minzoku is a race or a nation. Suizokukan is a water tribe institution or an aquarium. And izoku is a bereaved family, right? Literally the tribe or the clan of the deceased. The next kanji, the left-hand side looks a lot like the kanji for atarashi, although the right-hand side is different. So let's take a look at the stroke order. It's easier to think of this as tatsu, ki, and then on the right-hand side, the mi of miru, to see. So the general meaning of this kanji is familiar. Parents, relatives, or somebody who you have an intimate relationship with. The onyomi is shin. It's like the shin of ryoshin. Oya is a word for parent, and then the shita of shitashi, which means close or intimate. So we have ryoshin for parents. Shinseki is a word for relative, as in related family relative, not theory of relativity relative. Shinyu, which is this character plus the tomo of tomodachi, is a close friend, an intimate friend. Shinsetsu is kind. Oya is parents. We have haha oya and chichi oya, your mother and your father. Oya gaisha is a parent company as opposed to a subsidiary. And shitashi means close or familiar. So this next character is the character for cut. So it's the ki of kiru. Other pronunciations are setsu or sei. It's looks like a 7, and then the character for katana, for sword or knife. So maybe if you have 7 blades, you're going to cut things up. Notice here that unlike chikara, this second stroke does not cross this line. Yep, hint, cut in 7 pieces with a sword. So we have setsudan suru, which is to cut or amputate. Shinsetsu is kind, so you have familiar and cutting. I don't know how those mean kind. Taisetsu means important. Seppuku, you might know, is a form of ritual disembowelment. Seppuku, also called harakiri. The harakiri term is not considered particularly nice. Issai is all. Kiru, to cut. Shimekiri is a deadline. Uragiru is to betray, to literally cut behind or stab in the back a little bit. Jidaigire is to run out of, jikangire, to run out of time, right, to cut your time off. And then kippu, which means ticket, which is a cut piece of paper, essentially. Our next kanji is the A of eigo. So pronunciation is only A. It can mean England, refers to England, or it refers to something that is brave or distinguished. It starts with the kusakamuri, which is the grass radical. And then this one below it. The hint, a country where tea is central. That could be Japan or China, but they mean England. So eigo, English language. Eikoku is another way to talk about Igirisu or England. Eikokujin is a British person. Eikaiwa, English conversation. Eiwa jiten is a English-Japanese dictionary. And then Eiyu is a hero. After that, we have the character for mise, for store. So the onyomi is ten, kunyomi is mise. It kind of looks like a store with a person behind a counter. So you start with the madare radical, and then this on the inside. The hint, the most important store is the one of the fortune teller. This character by itself is uranai, which means fortune telling. It doesn't really have much to do with fortune telling now, this kanji combination. So a shoten is a shop, a little bit old-fashioned word for shop, with a short vowel. Shoten is a little bit old-fashioned word for bookstore. Baiten is a stand, as in a very simple store, like the kind you might find on a train platform. Honten is the head office or the head store. Shiten is a branch office. Kissaten, you probably know, is a coffee shop. Tein is a clerk or salesperson. Tento is a shop front. Mise for store, and mise saki is a storefront. And I find this an interesting inclusion in Genki kanji just because it's not used as much as a lot of other words are. It's basically the kanji for tsuchi with a mu underneath it. It's pronounced sa of saru, not saru as in monkey, but saru as in to leave, kyo or ko, and it means to leave or go away. So kyonen, we know as last year, the year that went away. Kyorai suru, to come and go. Taikyo suru, to depart or to leave. Shikyo suru, to pass away or to die. We have kakko, which is the past. So if you want to talk grammar, so you can say kakoke. That's the past tense of like a verb or an adjective. And then we have this verb saru, which means to leave or go away. Next, I like this kanji a lot. I think it's cool looking. It's the root of the verb isogu, so it's the iso of isogu. The other reading is kyu, so it means urgent, hurry, sudden. And you can find it in dictionaries under the heart radical. As usual, you build it from the top down. It's just like this angle seems to give it speed. The hint, running with an open mouth and a hand on the heart. Okay. For examples, we have kyuyo, which is urgent business or an urgent matter. Kyuko is a kind of a train, an express train. Kyubyo, to be struck by a sudden illness. Tokkyu densha is a special express train or rapid express train. The Tokkyu stops at fewer stations than the Kyuko. Kyugekina is an adjective which means sudden. Kinkyuna is pressing or urgent matter, for example. Kyuzosuru is to proliferate, literally means sudden increase. And isogu means to hurry. We have another kanji that we will mostly see as the root of a verb. This is the no of noru, like to ride or to get on some sort of vehicle. The onyomi is jo. So first you kind of write out some of the horizontal lines, close it up, spear it, and add the two diagonal lines. So we have joyosha, which is another word for jidosha or kuruma, automobile. Jokyaku, so you might know kyaku-san is customer. Jokyaku is a passenger, literally a riding customer. Josha suru is to get inside the train. When you get on the train in Japan, you'll often hear the announcement, Gojosha arigatou gozaimasu. Thank you for riding our train. Joba is to ride a horse. Literally ride a horse. Dojo suru, to ride together, right? That's the do of onaji or simultaneous. So simultaneous riding. Shijo suru is a test drive. This is tamesu, try or test and ride. Jojiru is to take advantage of. Noru, to get on a bus or train or another vehicle. Norimono means vehicle, and then noseru is to give a ride to someone. This kanji is the to of honto, or the a of ataru or atari. Stroke order has sort of that spiky mohawk, and katakana yo. Remember, you also had katakana yo, that's essentially that same radical, in the middle of the kanji for isogu or kyu. Some words that use this kanji: tojitsu, which is more like a day of. Like if you're buying tickets, the tojitsuken, the day of tickets, might be more expensive than the mayuri, the pre-sold tickets. Toji means at the time. So in reporting, you will often see this. Toji ni such and such happened. Honto, we probably all know, means really or truth. Bento is a box lunch, delicious. Tosen suru is to be elected or to be selected to win a prize. Tanto suru is to have responsibility for it in business. You will also often hear the term tantosha, which is the person in charge or the person responsible. We'll learn the sha for tantosha at the end of lesson 14 kanji. So ataru, ateru, both right, is to be hit or to hit. Hiatari is exposure to the sun. If you're talking about apartments or houses, hiatari ga ii, right, it has nice light, nice sun exposure. Atarimae is something that's obvious or of course. If you want to respond to somebody like, well, duh, of course, a way to do that in Japanese is atarimae. Atarimae desho. Something like that. And then teate suru is to provide medical care. The next two kanji go together. First one is on or oto, also ne, non or in. This is a kanji that means sound. This has the standing radical over the sun. So tatsu and hi, and means sound. Hatsuon suru is pronunciation, or to pronounce. Hatsuon is pronunciation. Dokuon suru is to record audio, for example. Ongaku is music. Onyomi is this, right? The Chinese style readings of kanji. The Kannon-sama is Kannon, the goddess of mercy. Boin is a vowel, literally the mother sound. Shin is a consonant, it's the child sound. Oto means sound. Ashioto, leg sound or foot sound, is the sound of footsteps. Neiro is a tone, so the sound color. And honne, like honne and tatemae. So honne is your true heartfelt emotion, whereas tatemae is the things you say to get along at work or in society. This kanji is the kanji for pleasure. So something pleasure, comfortable, music's pleasurable, it all fits together. So this is the gaku of ongaku, also can be pronounced raku. It is also, the kunyomi is the root of the verb tanoshi, or the adjective tanoshi. And this all comes off the tree radical. We start with character for white. And then these four marks of pleasure and a tree. The feelings of people in wooded areas when they can eat lots of white rice. Sure. Words that use this kanji are gakki, literally pleasurable implement or musical instrument. Ongaku, pleasant sounds. Raku, rakuna is something that's comfortable or easy. Rakuen, this is the N of koen. Rakuen means paradise. Rakkan suru, to be optimistic, literally to have a pleasurable perspective or outlook. Rakkan teki, optimistic. Tanoshi is fun. Tanoshimi is enjoyment. So adjective, noun, verb, tanoshimu, to enjoy oneself. The next to last character is the I of igaku. So this refers to medicine or doctors. As usual, you start with the top stroke, but unlike usual, the enclosure doesn't fill up until after you put the middle in. This is also that character for arrow that we saw back in the zoku, like kazoku no zoku. Usually, as you can see, this is most frequently in the first position when you see it in words. So an isha is a doctor, medical doctor. Ishi, another word for medical doctor. Iryo, medical care. Igaku, medical science, the study of medicine. Iin is a clinic, kind of like byoin. Iakuhin are medical supplies. Jui is the word for veterinarian, literally beast doctor. Shikai is a tooth doctor or dentist. Our final kanji for this lesson is right here. So this is the sha. I mentioned this before when I talked about tanto sha. So this kanji means a person, often refers to some sort of role or occupation. It can be pronounced sha or it can be pronounced mono, but this is not the mono that means thing. This is a mono that means person. And this is the stroke order. Examples we have are isha, which is a doctor. Gakusha is a scholar, right? A study person. Jakusha is the weak, right? This jaku is also yowai, the root for yowai, the adjective, so literally weak person. Dokusha, so this is the kanji for yomu, it's a reader. Chosha is an author. Kisha is a journalist or a reporter. Kagakusha, kagaku is science. Kagakusha, scientist. Then we have zensha, which is the former person, right? Mai no mono, the former. Shisha, the deceased, the dead person. Mono as person. Wakamono, right? Wakai hito, same thing as the youth. And then namakemono, which is a lazy person. Namakemono is also the word for sloth in Japanese. Okay, so those were the kanji for lesson 14, Genki 2. Keep at your kanji. They are good for you.